those end of instruction certification tests are still included, but yes, yours would be at the end of the program instead of after each individual course, because your courses are a little bit different than what we do in a K-12 program. Did I say that right? I think. Okay, let's go look. I want to show you where to find your syllabi options so that this is something maybe you can do this afternoon or this evening. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and click over here to the BMITE group. And BMITE Teacher Resources is where you're going to find all kinds of amazing resources. I will scroll down. Now, what you need to know is all of this is at the top of every page I click on, basically. So I used to get hung up with all of this information and think, it's the same thing. It's not. You scroll down and here is curriculum. That's where I want to go. So I'm going to scroll down. See, there's all of that information again. Scroll down to curriculum, and here is where you will find your syllabi. Now this is syllabi for every course in BMA, finance, IT, and marketing. So when you figure out what courses you're going to teach, that's where you want to go. So BMITE Teacher Resources, curriculum, and syllabi. And that is actually worded out on the Teacher Academy page. I keep skipping around. I want you to know how to find all of these things. So this is where it is. This is not me. There I am. So this tells you how to get to your crosswalks, to your curriculum, testing guides, teacher resources again, and there's testing guides. Okay.
Christy, are you going to show them the crosswalk and testing guide? I think you're about out of time.
I would like to, yes. I'm going to go over. Steve wants to know, do the students only have one chance to pass their test? What is considered passing? That's up to whatever testing software you decide to use. There are some of our testing companies that will allow you to give your test an unlimited number of times, and the passing score would be different for each company. And then you might have to pay for each individual test. So that would definitely be up to you and what company you chose and how much you wanted to spend and that kind of thing. So let's go find a crosswalk. And I don't have one pulled up, and I'm so sorry. I'm going to use my time. I'm going back to teacher resources, and I'm going to scroll back down to curriculum, and I'm going to scroll past all of this to course crosswalks. So I am going to go find, oh, there's the crosswalk for fundamentals of tech. I'm going to take the new one, and I'm going to open it, and I will share that with you. So here is an example of one of our crosswalks. So what this means is you are just giving us an idea of where you are covering all of this material. So here is mobile devices, classify cellular phone connections and carriers. So I'm probably getting this from, maybe I'm using ICEV this year. So I'm going to put ICEV in the resources, but then I need to let the BMITE office know when they come and do my evaluation. I need to let them know what chapter or what section that's in for ICEV. So this is a valuable resource for you. Don't put it off. I know it seems overwhelming, but you're probably covering all of this information. And once you go through and you notate where you're covering all of this information, you may catch a hole in your instruction where you're not covering something, but this is valuable for you. You can, once you complete it, then it's good. And then you know every year when you go back, wait a minute, I'm going to change where I'm covering understand the use of phones in professional setting. I'm going to change that. We're going to cover that from maybe a guest speaker. I don't know. If you do that, then change that in your crosswalk. You don't have to change it every year, but you want to change the things that you are making adjustments on. crosswalks.
Do you want to answer the question from Morgan?
Did he ask another question? I think I covered that one with the exams. Yeah, unless there was another one that I didn't see, maybe.
I think you got my question.
Oh, good. Okay. Aaron did mention that Oklahoma's promised they must enroll in the 8th, 9th, or 10th grade. And just this year it was voted that they into, I guess, legislation that they could do 11th grade as well. We missed that with one of my kids. So 8th, 9th, 10th, or 11th grade. So if you have those grade students, you want to make sure that you're encouraging them to look into that because it's absolutely worth it. What else did I miss, girls? I did have an activity for you. I am just going to challenge you to, maybe at the end of today, to go in and find each syllabus of a course that you're going to be teaching. And then if you have questions on those syllabi before you leave this week or before we dismiss, then you can ask us individually and we will work with you on helping you decide on some of the questions that you may have with curriculum or testing, things like that.
So Christy, I just wanted to add in on the crosswalking. The beauty of that crosswalking tool is making sure that you're covering the course competencies and whatever test you're aligning to. So you've got the course competencies and the test competencies that you'll add in to that crosswalk document. But as your students experience success or don't experience success, you want to drill down and use your crosswalk as a tool to help beef up whatever you're using to teach that competency. So if you see that they're testing poorly in certain areas, that means that whatever resource you're using to cover that competency or those competencies is not being effective. You either need to beef it up or change it and use something else, find another online tool, or do something to change how you're instructing your students if they're all performing consistently badly on a certain area, if that makes sense.
And I want to encourage you, if you found out that you are one of the schools that's being evaluated this year, to go ahead and start working on those crosswalks. We understand that a lot of that might change as you get through the year. You may decide, well, I can't cover it with this resource, but I am going to cover it with this resource. But if you will start those pretty early on, that way, because those are, even though they're easy to do, they're a little time consuming. So you don't want to wait until the week of our visit and then panic, because take it from me, it puts you in a little bit of a panic. I did my 5-year evaluation the week I had been a career tech teacher for about 7 or 8 years, and my evaluation kept being moved. And so the year I came to work here, it was March 25th. We went back to my high school and did my evaluation like March 27th. So I've been through it and I know it's tedious, but it's so absolutely worth it. And I wish I could have gone through my 5-year evaluation much earlier in my teaching career with Career Tech, just because I learned so much from that 5-year evaluation. So do you have any other questions? I see some messages in the chat. ICEV will also prove, yes, thank you, Kathy. ICEV will be presenting at Oklahoma Summit, that's a mouthful, on day 2. So you can go in and listen to their presentation and talk to them. But there are other curriculums that we use. ICEV is just one of them that was fresh on my mind today. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, this will be available to you on C2U. If you have questions later, holler at us. And it looks like, what time is it? Is it time for Kathy? Have I gone into your time, Kathy? Oh man. Okay, it's all you, sister.
All right, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Summit, and then I'm going to pass you on to our BMITE officer team, or I believe one of the officers from that will be here with you. Okay, so Oklahoma Summit is coming up, and it is a requirement for all Career Tech teachers to attend every year, but it's so much fun. And this year, as of right now, we are in person. And we are social distancing still. We are at 75% capacity in each room instead of 100%. And it's just so much fun. The first day is at the convention center. So this year it's August 2nd and 3rd. It is a 2-day conference. So it'll be Monday, August 2nd and Tuesday, August 3rd. The first day is at the OKC Convention Center. And the second day will break out into just our BMITE group at Francis Tuttle Technology Center on the Rockwell campus. So if you are local to the Oklahoma City area, you may drive back and forth every day. If you are coming from further away, there are hotels that we have a block at and that you can reserve a hotel room. I'm going to go to the registration once I get to the end of this, but the day 1 schedule is at the Oklahoma City Convention Center, and at 7 a.m. registration opens. You do have to go online and register and pay to register for Summit. But when you go on day 1, you will get your name badge and find out where to go from there. You'll see the big opening session at 8 a.m. We're going to have our BMITE business meeting at 10:45, and that is for everyone who joins ACTE and ACTE. I think we've talked to you a little bit about that also in one of Carrie's sessions. On the first day of Summit, they'll have food trucks outside. Lunch is on your own, but you can visit any of the food trucks, or you can leave the convention center and go to lunch and come back. There are breakout sessions and best practices that entire day. On day 2, when we're at Francis Tuttle Technology Center, we're providing breakfast for you, or it comes through the $15 BMITE fee that you pay in registration. We're going to have sausage, biscuits, and burritos. So that'll be provided for you at Tut's Cafe, which when you go in to Francis Tuttle, you'll go over to the cafe and you'll get your free breakfast. Well, free, but anyway, you don't have to pay any money. At 7:30, we're going to have a new teacher meet and greet. So go get your breakfast, and it's going to be right across from where you're getting breakfast in the cafeteria. Christy Lofton is going to be there to meet you guys and kind of go over the schedule with you if you have any questions or if you just want to meet each other in person. We're going to have 14 different breakout sessions each hour, somewhere between 13 and 14 each hour to choose from. Lunch that day will be on your own, but Tut's Cafeteria, where you got breakfast, will be open if you want to purchase a lunch there and stay on campus for lunch. In the afternoon, again, you choose what breakout session you want. And then at 2:45, we're going to break into regions, and we're going to have our region networking going on. So you'll find out which region you're in and attend that session. Just want to show you the campus map of Francis Tuttle. So if you're coming in off of Rockwell, if you're coming from where we're coming from, which is the Stillwater area, you're coming from the north. If you're coming from, say, Norman, you're going to come from the south. But if you come in off of Rockwell, enter into Francis Tuttle, I'm going to be parking where the flags are at the main entrance and going into Zone A. But what I would recommend that you do is go on the south side of the building and go over to where you see the Culinary Arts entrance. And so you'll park out here south of the building. There's a big parking lot, and it looks like it's far away, but it's really not. It's not far away at all. It's right next to it. Go in this Culinary Arts entrance, and that's where you'll see Pam Porter, and she'll be sitting there with agendas, maps, everything you need. And so I'm going to show you the schedule in just a moment, but you'll see on this map that Francis Tuttle is broken down into zones. So on the schedule, if the room says Campus Center A1011. You'll know that it's in Zone A at the front of this building towards the main entrance where you're going to find that room. We don't have any in Zone B. We have Campus Center C and Campus Center D. And so that's where you're going to find all of this. Here's where Tut's Cafe is, where you're going to get your breakfast and lunch if you choose to eat there. We have some sessions across from where you're going in at the Culinary Arts entrance into the Information Technology building, south of the main campus. And we have some sessions in the administration building. So the conference registration is $75. If you go online to register and it's trying to charge you $100, then I'm going to give you some phone numbers or emails to contact OK ACTE, because they're not going to charge you the late fee because you're a new teacher. So you do not have to pay the late fee. The BMITE conference registration is $15. We're also going to have snacks throughout the day for you, bottled water, pretzels and cookies, things like that. Your optional dues are joining the professional organizations, ACTE, OK ACTE, and then you can also join our BMITE officer or BMITE organization. So those are optional dues, but if you join that, then you can come to the business meeting also on day one at the convention center. There's also an optional donation if you'd like to donate to BPA scholarships.
Kathy?
Yes.
I just want to point out there was a couple of questions in the chat that we've
Okay.
answered. I wanted to reiterate that the dress code, that's one that people have questions about. Yes, it is hot, but it is business professional. Dress is business professional, but wear comfortable shoes because we're spread out all over that campus. Yes. And you're gonna be doing a lot of walking to get to different sessions.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of walking. So I believe we broke it down to business casual on day 2, but business professional on day 1. Everyone's going to be dressed up, like really dressed up on day 1. And then day 2, we're still dressed up. We're not in jeans or anything, but yeah. If you are good wearing high heels all day and walking long distances, then you'll be fine. But if you're like me, you may end up barefoot, and that wouldn't be very professional. So, okay, so this PowerPoint is also in CTU, and so you can go to this to get to registration on OK ACTE. It's okact.org/Oklahoma Summit. I'm going to stop sharing this and show you the agenda and description and such. Also on the last page of that were the contact information for OK ACTE. If you have any issues with registration or payment, that you can also contact us and we'll get you directed to them. So we have a lot of sessions going on for you, but this is what the agenda is going to look like. And we'll have this posted up on CTU hopefully this week. I see I have an email from Francis Tuttle. I'm just waiting on one room change, so this should be up on CTU by tomorrow. So at 7:30, from 7:30 to 8 is breakfast. We'll be there at 7 a.m. So if you come early, you can come in and gather yourself and wait. And as soon as breakfast is out, you can go ahead. In the cafeteria, which is C1610, and that's right across from Tut's, is the new teacher meet and greet. So if you want to join up there with Christy Lofton and you guys can kind of meet each other and get your agendas and decide where you're going for the day, that's where you'll meet with Christy at 7:30.
And that's where I'll give you the prizes that you've won this week.
Absolutely, yeah. Go get your prizes too. Session 1 is going to start at 8 a.m. and it's going to start with Carrie DeMuth doing the opening session. So on the breakdown of the sessions, you'll see opening session, but you're just going to go to whatever session one you want to go to hear opening session. And then session one will start immediately after opening session. So we have Corinne Hoisington, who is going to be presenting all day long. You definitely want to try to fit Corinne in because she's amazing. SHL Talent Central, there's just so many to choose from, but I want to point out some specific new teacher sessions. Here's establishing advisory boards in the afternoon with Meredith Simmerly, who you're getting ready to speak to in just a little bit. Paxton will have BPA update session in the morning, and she's going to have a DECA update session in the afternoon. So you'll just look over here to the left to see what room you're going to. And again, if you see that D 1870, you know that's zone D. And I've got them in order here. So it starts with A. So you know that's zone A. And then we skip to zone C, which is the cafeteria. And then there's one classroom that's upstairs. So if it's the 2500 number or 2094, or 2070, those are all upstairs, but in that zone. And then we have the D, and then we have in the administration building, this is going to be your cybersecurity people. They're going to be over there all day until it comes time for region meetings. And in the IT building, we've got the Film Education Institute, how to produce a newscast and a broadcasting Q&A, and live sports streaming. So there's a lot going on here, and be looking for this on CTU real soon. We'll also have the breakout session descriptions. So this will be another sheet you'll be able to see. So if you want to see the description of what the session's about, you'll be able to look all of that up. Are there any questions right now before I pass you along to our BMITE representative who is here to talk to you? Okay, Meredith, I'll pass it along to you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Teaching in the BMITE division. My name is Meredith Simmerly, and I am the current past president of the BMITE division. I'm also the membership services representative. And I'm coming to you today from my vacation. I'm in West Monroe, Louisiana. So it's going to be a little bit different. Instead of you guys seeing me on video, I'm in my hotel room with my husband and my dog. Kathy, would it be okay if I share a screen with the folks? Okay. And all right, can everyone see the presentation? It says join BMITE.
Yes, we do.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so to get us started, there may be a little bit of confusion, and this tends to be something that we've talked about in the past with folks, and in this confusion is that there are actually two BMITEs. One is the State Department BMITE, your government agency side that oversees curriculum, funding, program quality, your student organizations, CTSOs such as BPA and DECA, and credentialing of our career tech teachers, and so much more. The other BMITE is the teacher organization that's a branch of Oklahoma Association of Career and Technical Educators, which is the state level division of the National Organization, Association of Career and Technical Educators. We provide our teacher members with professional and personal benefits, and we also give you a voice with state policymakers and with national policymakers as well. So to kind of get some of the hierarchy into perspective, if you look at your screen, you'll see ACTE, that is our national level organization that works in Washington, D.C. with our policymakers to try to get funding for all of the states for career and technical education. At the state level is OKACTE, And our state level is divided into 12 divisions total. And I just put some like the 5 most popular ones that you guys may have some personal experience with. Health careers, ag, BMITE, FACS, STEM. We have administration, guidance, and so many more. Like I said, there are 12, but those are the ones that you guys are going to see in a lot of your high school, more visible in some of your high school and technology programs, technology center programs. So what are some of our membership benefits? Eligibility for professional recognition. You can apply for and be awarded awards for your teaching experience and your teaching excellence, whether you're a new teacher, and you can apply for that when you are in your 3 to 5 years of range. For Teacher of the Year, after 5 years, community service, and various different things such as that. Also for your membership service years as well. Networking with professionals in your content area and your interests. We do provide opportunities for that. Your regional meetings during summer conference will be led by the regional vice presidents for both the technology centers and also for the high schools as well. Scholarship opportunities. This is both for you and for your students. We do offer the Dean Denton BMITE scholarship to 3 students each year. And the teacher who nominates those students, they have to be BMITE members in order to have their students apply for that scholarship. We are also working on some scholarships for our teachers for continuing professional development. And we're also like to give away membership reimbursements as prizes during our regional meetings. Representation at the state level, we have a lobbyist, her name is Sky McNeil, and she works for us. She is a former state representative. She goes to the House and Senate, she talks to folks. She has been really instrumental in making sure that our funding has been increased at the state level. Opportunities for leadership in the BMITE division. For example, you can join as a committee member. We have several positions that are currently open in chair positions, and we also have committee memberships open. Officer team. I started out on the scholarship committee, worked into the membership committee, and then served as secretary, and then as president-elect, president, and now I'm past president. And now I'm also membership services representative. It's really a great way to get involved, to understand the workings that goes on in our organization. And it's also a great way to form some relationships with other teachers as well. So it's kind of a leadership, and it's also a networking opportunity. It's professional growth, providing those opportunities for you guys that you may not have access to in a classroom just by yourself. You know, we have so many people who are willing to step up and help. As not just a BMITE member, but as a member of ACTE, you would have the ability to participate in the Mutual Benevolence Plan. The Mutual Benevolence Plan, you do have to join within your first 3 years of becoming a membership. And what it does is you can also have your spouse join as a member. It is a cash payment process in the event of a member's death. So for example, we had a former state employee who her husband passed away, and she received a cash payment when he passed away to help pay with funeral expenses and everything such as that. And turnaround is quite quick, usually within the first week after a notification. And what it also means is that you, as a member of that plan, every time someone passes away, you pay $10. So for example, 1 year you may have 6 members pass away, you would pay $60 for that year. Or you may have another year where no one passes away, and so you don't have to pay anything. And you can also have your spouse join, so that if your spouse passes away while you are a member, you also receive a cash payment that can help with their funeral expenses, or really any of the expenses that you have during that time. And then professional liability insurance with ACTE membership is $40 a year. And that insurance just provides an extra level of protection for you in the event that, there's an injury to a student, or, heaven forbid you get accused of something you didn't do. You have that protection there, and people who will represent you and fight for you on your behalf. So our annual membership dues for ACTE is $80. Oklahoma ACTE is $60. And for the BMITE division itself is $25. And just as a note on that, our division dues are much less than other divisions. There are other divisions, their membership dues each year are in the hundreds of dollars. But we are one of the lower cost divisions to become a member of. And just kind of with some parting words, tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn. I can tell you all about the BMITE division and Oklahoma ACTE. I can give you some specific examples, but really at the part where it becomes beneficial to you is to get involved. Get involved, become a member, come to those meetings. You will learn so much more about how the inner workings of our division works. You will have access to so many opportunities professionally. And it's just a great opportunity. As a professional, my father was involved in his professional organization as I was growing up, and I couldn't imagine not being a member of my professional organization. My husband is a police officer. He is involved in a professional organization for his profession as well. And it's just one of those things where to be involved, to know, to have a voice. There are so many things in today's day and age that we just don't have a voice in. And with our division, I can tell you a couple of things that I've really been proud of. During my tenure, we encouraged ACTE and really fought hard for the membership installment plan. That was something that our members had talked about for a long time. Why isn't this done? So we, as the BMITE division, took it to Oklahoma ACTE and we said, listen, our members, we need the installment plan for Summer Summit. And they listened, and we're very proud of that accomplishment and that we have that. We were the division that was able to lead that and have that available to our members. And I would like to just give anybody an opportunity, if you have any questions that you would like to ask, be willing to visit with you for a moment.
Well, so far, no questions are in the chat, but I want to tell you how much we appreciate you joining us. And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we go through new teacher together?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
So see, guys, you make these crazy bonds. She has to put up with me forever now.
Oh, I see one question for the deadline to join. What's awesome about it is you can join anytime throughout the year. I know ACTE encourages you to join by October 1st, if possible. And that is an option during your registration for Summit.
Perfect.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Christy, do we even want to talk about how long ago that was?
It wasn't that long ago. Okay. With regards to the BMITE teacher and student scholarship, is it for the students taking any class?
Okay, so I can tell you personal experience this year. I had a student for the scholarship for the students. I actually had a student apply and she was awarded this year. So the Dean Denton BMITE scholarship is geared towards students who are either pursuing a teaching degree to become a business teacher or marketing teacher, or students who are pursuing a degree in business. Now, the student that I had, she's not going to be a teacher. She is actually pursuing a degree in finance. And she was a BPA member, which is also points on that scholarship. And then, of course, with my membership, that helped her out as well. And then for educators, the continuing education, it could be yes. We are still working on that, but that was something that we wanted to do, was to, if you're seeking initial certification, I believe there are some Carl Perkins scholarships available to those teachers. We wanted to gear our future scholarship toward a continuing professional development type scholarship. So it could be something used toward, like, for example, registration for ISTE or Adobe professional developments, things like that. Or if you wanted to take a college class, we could do that as well. But we are still ironing out all of the details on that. It's in committee right now.
Okay, well, it is time for everyone to break for lunch. If you have more questions for Meredith, then you can let one of us know, and we can connect you to Meredith, and I'm sure she'll respond after she gets back from vacation. So thank you, Meredith. We appreciate you taking the time with us. We will see you at Oklahoma Summit.
Oh, tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah, tomorrow morning. Yeah, you'll see her tomorrow morning. And then, okay, I forgot about that. Okay, lunch is today from 11:30 to 12. You will hear the music playing when we're about ready to come back together. When we come back together, you'll be hearing from Paxton about our CTSOs. So have a great